All right, so it's been a little while since I've done something like this, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say a very special hello to the ATFers. It's been quite a while, and you know what? Now that I'm sitting here doing it in real time, I actually feel bad. I feel as though the ATFers have been neglected. Um, and I know that they still exist. I know that there is a pocket of people out there, that silent majority of people out there that aren't able to join in real time. People that are fully functioning members of society that are out there while we're live, while we're streaming, and they're working. They're clocking in, they're commuting, they're doing the things that they need to do to put that Chinese food on the table. And I just want to say that I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you being here after the fact on your own time. And I know that it's different when the party's not even going anymore. Remember that old song? So what will you do when the party's over? You know what they're doing? They're here, being ATFers, watching after the fact. And I want to let you know that it is not lost on me. It is a big deal, and it definitely helps the algorithmic vibrations in this neck of the woods here. So thank you very much for doing it. And I want to let you guys know that, you know, when we see and experience success on the channels, because you guys showing up and doing what you do. So thank you very much. So let me make sure that all of this looks the way that it's supposed to. And we could go live to the public in a moment here. Whatever you guys are out there doing right now, I hope you're doing it to your best, that you're being a good example and representation of the Mexican martial arts out there in the community, because everything you do represents the Mexican martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you do it as if unto the... Nah, I can't do it. Do it, you know. I don't want to be blasphemous, you know. All right. Here we go. Thank you for being here again. I appreciate all of you. I think I did it right. I think I did it right. Oh, I wonder if that's going to change my... No, it's all good over there still. That's a different window. The one who vapes, bro. The one who vapes is in the house. It's good to see you, bro. Don't blow to my face, bro. Don't blow to my face, please. It's good to see you, bro. What's up, Drew? What's up, man? ARJR, let's go. ARJR, are you feeling any better today, bro? Any better? Dan Hooker will fight the demons. Dan Hooker will fight the demons Tony had. I'm going to be honest, I don't fully understand that. Was Tony battling with Bean in a heated rivalry? I don't remember that. Is that like a heated rivalry joke? Or is it just like they're both going through it? Agony, pain, and despair. What's up? I hope your day is feeling a little bit better at the moment than when you came up with that username, bro. Slipknot, what's up, bro? Good to see you again. Making magic fishing. Nah, that fool don't even get mad. They can't get him heated. Nah, he's too happy, if you know what I'm saying. You know why Dan Hooker don't get mad? Because that fool's real happy. You know what I'm saying? It's wordplay. You know what? I can't remember exactly who asked me yesterday. Dan's just a chill guy. Someone asked me yesterday, go check on Dan Hooker. It might be too late, bro. It might be too late. Somebody asked me yesterday if I ever accidentally say certain things in real life. And the other day, I completely forgot about this one yesterday. I was actually in, I guess you could call it a business meeting. I was in a meeting the other day where I told you guys sometimes I make like little local promo materials and commercials for local companies. And I was talking to the lady in charge, And I said no pun. I said no pun attended. And you know what I thought was really funny, and it just made the whole thing so much weirder. You know how sometimes somebody says something and you don't know quite how to respond, so you just mirror them. You just say the same thing again. So I said no pun attended, and she went, haha, no pun attended, and she said attended. And I don't know if it registered. You know how sometimes, do you ever see like on a TV show or on a movie where somebody says something and then the person mimics their accent? Or like, have you ever been talking to someone and they say like, would you like number 4? And you almost want to say, yes, number 4. Because you almost feel like if you say, yes, number 4, you almost feel like you're correcting them. So you just go, yes, number 4. And it's almost like a way of being polite. You kind of just mirror what they're doing. She said, no pun intended. And I was like, does she know what she just said? Did she even think about it? She probably thinks I'm an idiot now. She went into the other room. She's like, you know what this guy just said? Hey, thank you, Rob Finn. Thank you, bro. The likes are everything. Love from Ethiopia. Oh, my goodness, bro. All of my love to Ethiopia. Do you guys get the let out in Ethiopia? Do you know Led Zeppelin? All of my love to Ethiopia. Thank you, bro. We in the building. We in the building. Stayed home again, but tomorrow hitting work full force. There we go. On the road again. Just can't wait to be welding again. The life I love is showing off to other dudes that I'm the best welder because I'm actually an artist. Texas tapping in. Texas. Bringing that Texas heat. No, I think it's pretty cold right now, isn't it? Dan is not functioning when his fists don't fly. And Tony fought the Legion. Dang, the Legion? That makes more sense, actually. That Legion was hiding in the walls of his home, bro. That's messed up. He can't even go home to his sanctuary. He's scoring on both ends. Fair play. My bad. What up, Grandmaster? Hey, what's the bad? There's no bad. You're good, bro. What's up, real Bruce Wayne? Just hanging out? Still trying to wake up, bro. That's his mind game. You can't make me mad. I feel like when people say stuff like that, they're really dealing with being angry, and they probably get mad pretty often, you know? I'm not mad. Heated as in passionate. You could say that. You could say that. What's up, Max Bluestein? Every time Grandmaster hits us with a caught that fool slipping. Oh, Dan Hooker got caught slipping, man. Dan Hooker got caught slipping. I'm going to get into it right now. No pun intended. Thank you, ARJR. Thank you for getting this party started. Oh, look at that. Gaming is life just got blessed. Unbelievable. I love it. Don't forget to take advantage of that month membership, bro. Get into the membership perks tab. Check all the behind the scenes goodies. It is the official dark web of the Mexican martial arts. Well, I'll just get right into it. I woke up. I don't do it to be polite. I do it to make fun of them. Wait, where are we at? I woke up. What's up, Austin Z Jones? I woke up today and I was seeing a bunch of news about Dan Hooker supposedly maybe making a cameo in that popular hockey show that Sean Strickland was talking about, Heated Rivalry. And it was kind of a confusing situation because I was half asleep and I was feeling very foggy, you know? And I always tell you guys, I've never drank in my life. Like, I don't drink. But sometimes I wake up feeling like I had a hangover. I think it's because I think there's a good chance that I struggle with, like, sleep apnea and stuff like that. So I always wake up, like, if I didn't even sleep, and I feel even more tired than when I went to sleep the day before. I don't even know how that's possible. Like, literally, I'll go to sleep at a certain time. Like, I won't even feel tired. I'll just go to sleep because I'm like, well, I guess I'm supposed to go to sleep now. And then when I wake up, I feel more tired than when I made myself go to sleep. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to work. I don't know if anyone else could relate to that. But I woke up to the news that supposedly Dan Hooker cheated on his girlfriend. And I was like, oh, that's not cool. You should be a better dude than that, you know? You have your daughter and everything, like you're going to break up your family. And then I was like, wait a minute. I kept reading, and it was like, Dan Hooker cheated on his girlfriend with his wife. I was like, is this like a Ian Gary type of situation? I didn't fully understand. So I was trying to I was going to different articles and trying to find out, like, I was trying to piece it together. Like, Dan Hooker's cheating on his girlfriend with his wife. He has a wife, but he's cheating on his girl. Oh, he has a side piece. He's cheating on his side piece with his wife, but no, it's also with the dude. That's supposedly. I wasn't there. I wasn't in the room. Supposedly, Dan Hooker cheated on his girlfriend with his wife and with the dude. And it was weird because Dan Hooker's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, she was coming out talking about how she used to work at this place called the Booty Club. The Booty Club? I don't know what that is. James Bishop, let me know what that is if you have a better insight. I have no idea what that is. And she was talking as if, I mean, at the very least, she was a stripper, but she was kind of like equating herself to like a prostitute. She was basically saying that Dan Hooker she actually said this, that Dan Hooker liked playing the role of Captain Save, you know, I want to be saved, Captain Saver, you know? And so she was saying he took me out. He wanted to give me a different life. He was supporting me. And I was very confused. And I'm not even lying. This isn't even a joke. I swear this ain't even a joke. We're talking about Dan Hooker. And then this girl that was like a prostitute that he got out the club, got off the streets. And then I found out he has a wife. And I looked up the wife's name. And her last name was Hooker. And I was like, wait a minute, Hooker, prostitute Hooker. What's going on? And I was like, oh, it's because his name's Dan Hooker and he's married. I forgot. I was tired. Remember, I was half asleep, half awake. And I was very confused. Dan Hooker was cheating on his prostitute girlfriend with his wife, who's also a hooker. But she's only a hooker though. She's only a hooker though because of her last name, because of marriage. So that's not fair. It's not fair to look at it that way. His wife's probably a very nice lady. But he was cheating on the girlfriend with his wife, who's a hooker. I mean, technically, legally, she is a hooker, but also with the dude. And I don't know if any of you were following this story. I don't know if I'm just breaking the news to you right now. There is footage and there are screenshots that Dan Hooker's prostitute girlfriend was showing. And she was showing screenshots and stuff that said something about the URL, the website link said something about Kiwi swingers. And I don't know if that's a pun. I don't know if it's because these dudes are out there swinging their Kiwis or what. I don't know if it's because they're Kiwis, because of where they're from, or if it's a physical act of swinging Kiwis. I don't know. Maybe it's both. But she showed the website that was talking about Kiwi swingers. And they were having a back and forth that was, I mean, I had to cover my Tío Beto's eyes as I was reading it. It was some obscene stuff in nature that I cannot repeat here. It was saying some twisted. So, I mean, Sean Strickland will be beside himself, bro. It was insane to think that Dan Hooker was writing this and having this written to him and the way that he was reciprocating and replying. It was wild. Now we have to consider that maybe, I mean, things could be Photoshopped. Look at Transformers. Look at Endgame, Avengers. Look at Lord of the Rings. People could CGI stuff and Photoshop stuff. Who knows? Maybe he broke up with his girlfriend because he thought, you know what? I feel like me and my wife are in this phase of life. I think it's time to maybe be a little more committed. You know what? I think it's time in mine and my wife's relationship. I think maybe it's time to be faithful and monotonous with each other. So like maybe she raged out. And maybe she had just seen Sean Strickland's press conference. She was like, oh, I got my thumb on the pulse of what's going on in this MMA community. I'm going to say this and that about him. I don't know. I want to make sure that I cover that I'm not just going to Me Too this guy. Or somebody made the joke the other day. I can't remember who it was. I'm not going to take credit for it. Someone made the joke that it shouldn't be. Was it, I think it might have been Kevin Nealon, actually. They were like, why do they call him Me Too? It should be Him Too. Hey, look, Him Too. Him Too. It makes sense. But I just want to make sure that I touch on that I'm not going to be one of those, hey, him too. It could have been Photoshop, could have been, who knows? Who knows? But the girlfriend was accusing him of cheating on her with his wife and with the dude. She showed all this footage, showed the screenshot, showed his profile on Kiwi Swingers and all the obscene conversation. And she's saying, I tried to leave him a bunch of times. I didn't even want to be with him. He was cheating on me constantly. He was cheating on me and his wife and his boyfriend constantly. And that she actually had a list. You know how when people have like a list for their birthday or for their wedding or whatever, and everyone could pick what they want? She actually made a list that she shared with him in the Google Cloud, that every time he cheated on her, he had to get her something from that list to get back in her good graces. And that's what she referred to as her underpants. That's the term of endearment, her good graces. That's what he had to do every time he wanted to come back around. That's the kind of arrangement that they had. That's the life that he was living. So basically what's happening right now is she's accusing him of being a homosexual, of being gay. And that supposedly, I mean, bro, she's trying to make Israel Adesanya look like the straightest dude in the gym. And that's a task. That's an uphill task. Imagine these two dudes. Bro. Staff is the least of your worries at that point. Staff is a head cold. Staff is 2-3 days off of work at that point. That's the least of your troubles. You get these two on the mat. And then she was talking about how she started to put the pieces together, you know? I mean, there's already a little bit of a disconnect when you're already the side piece, when you're the girlfriend. When you're the wife, you got the claws were a little bit more locked in, you know, and rightly so. But she was starting to put the pieces together. She's like, why is this dude training in Thailand so much? Why is he training in Thailand so much? Why does he care so much about being part of the Tiger Muay Thai Club? Why does he always want to go to Thailand? I don't understand it. She started to put the pieces together. She was talking about how Dan Hooker, she mentioned how Dan Hooker wouldn't shut up about she was talking about how Dan Hooker wouldn't shut up about the Super Bowl for weeks leading up. For weeks. And then when it came game day, all he wanted to watch was the halftime show. She was talking about how he was talking about for weeks leading up, how he wouldn't stop obsessing over the Olympics, how he was so patriotic and whatnot. And then when the Olympics came around, all he wanted to do was watch the luge. He just kept rewinding it over and over again. She started to put the pieces together. And there was one last one. I didn't hear her mention this. There was one last one. I didn't hear her mention this, but I thought about it. And I think it's very serious. And look, ladies and gentlemen, this is no laughing matter. This is serious. I started to think about the things that she was puzzling together. And I thought about, hold up. I started to think about the things that she was puzzling together, and I started to do some of my own legwork. And I made an interesting connection. Thailand, Tiger Muay Thai, Bangkok. What's this dude up to? And I made a connection that I thought was dark. Dan the Hangman Hooker. Is he trying to leave breadcrumbs? Is he trying to give us clues? Is this a cry for help? Dan the Hangman Hooker. Does that ring a bell? Let me pull something up for you. You know who else they refer to as the Hangman? David Carradine. David Carradine died from accidental asphyxiation in Thailand, in a Bangkok hotel room in June 2009, found hanging with the cord around his neck, though his family's medical examiner ruled out suicide, suggesting erotic asphyxiation accident during a sensual activity involving autoeroticism. Now, supposedly, autoeroticism, I don't know, Carradine was doing something with his vehicle. I don't know if Dan Hooker's into that type of stuff. But I'm just talking about Bangkok, Tiger Muay Thai, Thailand, the Hangman. This is a cry for help. This is no laughing matter. This is no time for memes. This is no time for jokes and ha-has. This is a serious cry for help. I haven't heard anybody else make this connection. And I think it's a very important one. I don't want to see a repeat. I hope he's okay. Dang. These dudes need to stay out of Thailand. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I heard somebody, again, I've been telling you guys lately, because I ain't ever going to take credit for anything that's not mine. I heard a joke the other day, and I think it's an old joke a lot of you guys have probably heard of before. Somebody said that, I forget how they worded it, but they said something like, the most beautiful ladies in the world are dudes from Thailand. Has anybody ever heard that or a variation before? I feel like it's an old joke. I've been hearing it. I've heard it make the rounds. I've heard more than one people say it. Did you hear that lady at the press conference yesterday? Did you hear that wild lady asking? It was like she was literally trying to bait Sean Strickland. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was a press conference. I don't know if I saw the whole thing, actually. I just came across this video randomly. I wasn't even trying to watch UFC stuff. I was just looking for something to watch while I ate my my enchiladas. And it popped up. It was a video that was like half and half. It was actually like 11 minutes of Sean Strickland and like 3 minutes of Fluffy Hernandez. There was a video that was like Sean Strickland talking about the upcoming fight and Hernandez talking about the fight. And there was this reporter, this lady, and I swear, it seemed like if she was a plant. It seemed like if she was specifically planted there just to provoke Sean Strickland, just to get him. It felt like a sting. It felt like if she would, I don't know if you guys watched it. Like, there's no way you didn't get the same feeling if you watched it. It literally felt like she was put there just to get him to say some crazy stuff. It 100% felt like that. Especially, I mean, not even just the questions that she was asking, but she had like this sardonic kind of like, she had this weird tone. Like, you know how sometimes when you're fighting with your lady and she has this tone, she's like, you know, you're acting like your dad right now. You know how she has like these mic drop moments in her tone where she'll say this, like, that's how that girl sounded the whole time. It was either like she was like hired by Paramount and it's one of their things to get ratings, and they're like, that's why we got the UFC, bro. We know that they're unfiltered. We need this. People like it. Or they're trying to get them fired. And this has been something that MMA fans and MMA talking heads and MMA talking beanies have been talking about, that it's possible. I've kind of riffed on this a little bit. I'm not saying I 100% believe this, but that it's at least possible that a company like Paramount, some big streaming behemoth, some big platform, would buy something like the UFC just to kill it, just to squash it and get it out of commission. Think about like Meryl Streep. Think about people in the Hollywood industry with the kind of influence and power and Illuminati type stuff that they got going on. They would love more than nothing to buy something like that just to say, you're done, you're gone, we don't have to deal with you anymore. We watered you down and you're out. It's over. So I know there's a little pocket of people. There was a little piece of me when I was listening to that was like, she's trying to tank Strickland and the UFC. This is crazy. But yeah, he was I don't even remember why I started talking about that. If you guys haven't watched that Sean Strickland interview, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. It was like, I mean, maybe I'm off. I don't know. Maybe I'm incorrect. But I feel like from what I could remember just off the beanie, I feel like it was like the most, like the most he's ever. And I feel like it was the most compressed. You might feel like, no. There was this one interview where he said this one thing. That was the worst. I feel like this interview was like the essential Sean Strickland. It was like Sean Strickland's greatest hits. It was like, you know how some people know Queen, but they only know like Bohemian Rhapsody and like Another One Bites the Dust. It was like you get that album from Walmart, you know, it just packs in all the goodies. This was crazy, bro. You have to watch it. I couldn't believe it. And I know we're talking about Sean Strickland here. He's kind of like the Marilyn Manson of the UFC, you know, like people watch him for one thing. It's just gonna be shock value, edgelord type of. It's gonna be crazy. You're just with your mouth open. It was insane. He started talking about women's MMA, and honestly, I don't really know how I feel about that. I don't. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about women's MMA? Because I have to be honest. When I do the Mexican Fight Companion, and I'm here with you guys, and we're streaming the fights, I'm seeing your chat every single time there's a women's fight. I mean, this is the soundboard right here. I'm seeing you guys with your own fingertips, or, you know, for you youngins with your thumbs. I'm seeing all of you guys say, this is boring, snooze fest, how do I skip this? Boo, this is lame, they got to get rid of this. The only positive thing I ever hear when the ladies are fighting is, ooh, the cameraman knew the assignment. Oh, nice. The cameraman is a man of culture. Oh, look at this one. Oh, I hope my lady don't walk in. That's it. It's just like hashtag cochino type stuff. It's never like, oh, look at the technique. Look at the strategy. Oh, big knockout. Oh, what a submission artist. Oh, my gosh, look at the footwork. Never. If anything, they're talking about them patas, but not as far as like strategy. So it's like, you know, if you just ask me, what do you think about women's MMA? Should we get rid of it? I'm like, nah. Like, why? That's messed up. Rose Namajunas is like one of my favorite. I'm kind of struggling to say it. I almost gagged a little bit because it's like, am I really gonna say that right now? Because it's been rough. It's been rough because of that PB&J, that Pat Berry and Jolly. But I've often referred to her even recently as one of my top 5 active favorite fighters. And I think there are obviously ladies in MMA that do have skill. They are true, pure martial artists. They have good technique and stuff like that. But every single time anybody actually voices anything about it, it's negative. So, I mean, it's easy for people to look at Sean Strickland and be like, oh, you're a misogynist, you're sexist, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, shut up, bro. Every time I see anybody actually have some kind of a take on it, it's negative. They don't like it. It's boring. Can we skip it? I can't believe I paid for this. It's always the same thing. So I don't know. It's tough. I think with ladies, it might be the ultimate. You know how there's even some male fighters where it's like, bro, Colby, I don't even. You're going to have to talk the most trash, bro. You're going to have to talk so many papas, bro. You're going to make Idaho jealous. You got to talk like I couldn't possibly care less to see you fight, bro. You're going to have to talk so much. Even some of the dudes have to do that. And these are people that actually have knockout power, that actually could TKO somebody on a regular basis, that actually is going to draw blood with the quickness. I feel like, man, the ladies, they might really have to start, which is crazy to me because you would think, and I don't know if this is a sexist thing to say, but often I found that the sexist thing to say is often the most honest. I feel like the ladies, like, who could talk better trash, bro? Imagine the ladies just rattling off at each other and hurling insults and talking about each other's eyebrows and stuff like that. That would be like the highest level. I don't understand that. Like, I feel like sometimes maybe Ronda Rousey would try to trash talk, but it was kind of corny. But I just feel like they haven't really given a good swing at it. You know, I feel like ladies would have some of the highest level. Like, Charles Sonnen would blush, bro. I feel like they would have some of the highest level trash talk. I don't know why they don't utilize it more. I think that could make the things more exciting. Now, one more thing I want to say about the Sean Strickland interview. Apparently, there's a company or I think back in the day, maybe they were a magazine. They might. It's so funny how something could be so big and prestigious and important, and it's like, I don't even know about it. But there's something called Variety. I simply know that as a word that's kind of a positive word. It just means that you have, like, you know, a nice little smorgasbord, you know. But there's a entity or organization or some kind of company called Variety. And apparently he's on their radar now. He's on the map. They're saying, and a lot of people are tweeting and sending blah, 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 and crying about it. What are you going to do about it? Hey, Paramount, what are you going to do about this dude? Are you going to spank him? What are you going to do? Are you going to send him to the island of Patmos? What are you going to do with this dude? We need to see some blood. We need to see something. We need to see him fired. We need some kind of chastisement. Come on, give us something. And that's very, very tricky. That's very tricky. I mean, you put Jimmy Kimmel out of commission, and then you bring him right back. I mean, that's a precedent. It was setting a precedent to oust Jimmy Kimmel, and then it set another precedent to bring him back. Now, I always say the same thing when it comes to freedom of speech. I always say the same thing. I feel like you should let people talk. Because if you truly think that they're stupid and they're saying something stupid, let them expose that. Let them prove how dumb they are. Don't silence them. If you silence them, we're not going to know how stupid they are. Now, I'm not saying that I feel that way about Sean Strickland. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with them. I think I kind of weave in and out. But what I'm saying is, it's going to set a very dangerous, a very bad precedent if Paramount feels like they got to do something about this. Now, I don't really remember. I thought I remember that Paramount and CBS had some kind of interconnectedness with Donald Trump and that side. And a lot of people from the other side were upset about that because they were like, oh, everything's going toward that. It's the White House. It's CBS. It's Paramount. They're the ones trying to silence Jimmy Kimmel. I don't remember. I think that's what the case was. So knowing that, keeping that in mind, yesterday when I saw the interview with Sean Strickland, part of me was like, I wonder if they're having this lady provoke him because they like what he's saying. And that's what Paramount's all about. There was a part of me that was thinking that. But if not, it's going to be real dangerous if Paramount feels like they have to do anything to quiet him. Because here's the tricky part. What is UFC? What is WWE? What is TKO? It is branded as an entertainment company. So if you could have movies with people murdering people, assaulting people in inappropriate ways, bombing buildings, stealing, doing all this crazy stuff, and you don't arrest them, why? Because they're paid actors and there are scripts and they're entertaining. Thank you. They're entertaining you. They're entertainers. It's an entertainment company. Sean Strickland, under the umbrella, not under guise, I'm not talking about like Dan Hooker again, like GUISE, under the guise, like this guy's under the umbrella, under the overarching, like he's not under dudes. At least I don't think so, bro. Unless he ends up having a girlfriend that comes out saying that he's cheating on her and his wife and his boyfriend. That would be crazy, bro. But are you gonna come after actors from Landman for shooting somebody? Are you gonna go get Al Pacino because he killed some dudes in Scarface? It's entertainment, right? So how are you gonna come after Sean Strickland when he's an entertainer? It's entertainment. It's crazy, man. And I know the world's a stage and AI is making everything even more complicated. And it's like, who's acting, who's not acting, who's the real you? But that's the world that we live in. ARJR, thank you, bro. Hooker went to Dana's Island. Hey, Michael Fieri's here, but he's driving. Good. I'm good to know that you're listening, bro. Stay safe out there. Oh, and Mar Loca also responded with a gift. Look at this. I got Mar Loca with me. Oh, Hoser the guy, Hoser the power couple. It's good to see you, bro. Real Bruce Wayne said that women's MMA is a bunch of doo-doo plessy. Kaimon, what's up, bro? I agree fully and wholeheartedly. Kaimon, I agree fully and wholeheartedly. I've been pushing for that for the longest time. We need a women's heavyweight division. ARJR with the kiss from a rose on the stream. La, na, 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 na. Thank you, bro. Thank you for doing it. If you haven't seen ARJR's beautiful, wonderful, artful creations, he made a beautiful rose on his channel. You should scope it out. It's crazy, man. Supposedly, Dan Hooker's girlfriend called him one final time, one last time when she was trying to give them. Supposedly Dan Hooker's lady. Supposedly Dan Hooker. Supposedly Dan Hooker's. Some of you are very confused right now. Some of you know what's going on. Supposedly, Dan Hooker's girlfriend called him one. Supposedly, Dan Hooker's girlfriend called him one last time. One last time, and she was trying to give him a chance. She was trying to allow him the opportunity to make things right. She calls him. He picks up the phone, and immediately he says, "You ever seen a grown man naked?" It's over. It's a wrap. It's just something I got to work on later. You'll see later. You'll see later. You got to piece it together, you know? I'll put it together later. I'll figure it out. Oh boy. I want to ask for your forgiveness right now. I want to ask for your forgiveness if you are chatting in the chat. Sometimes when I talk like this, people think that it's not live because they're like, what the heck, bro? You're not even talking to the chat. Release the Hooker files. Sometimes people get that idea. And dang, Jane Caulfield. I actually admire that you can actually be this fake. Jane Caulfield, we sat here yesterday. And I said nothing. I streamed for, I think, 5 hours, and Jane, what a stream you missed. I streamed for almost 6 hours yesterday, and I refused to talk. I sat here in silence the whole time waiting for you to show up. I said nothing. There was no chat. No one did anything. We were all on hold. How nice of you to show up. How nice of you to show up. Um, I wanna apologize to you guys for if it seems like I'm neglecting the chat. It's because I'm actually trying to talk and give you some content. I actually want to talk to you about some stuff that's going on in the MMA community. So I'm gonna talk about a couple more things, and if there's anything that you said that you wanted to have addressed or that you wanted to talk about, please go ahead and feel free to post them again in a little bit. I did want to mention Usman. I did want to mention Kamaru Usman, and look, I've had a little bit of a change of heart when it comes to this. I believe, I don't even remember fully. I'm not even positive. Bro, the username hole in Dan's sock has never hit so strongly as it is today. Oh, bro. ARJR, thank you, bro. Oh. John Johnson, are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me, bro? Did you miss the first part of the stream? John Johnson, promise me that you're going to go back and watch it, bro. Please promise me that you're going to go back and watch it. I just covered the whole thing, and it was some of our best work here on the channel. Please go back and watch it after the fact, bro. I got banned on PlayStation for calling someone stupid. Is that Nazism? I mean, I don't want to act like I'm more educated than I am on the use of that word. I think a lot of people throw it around too loosely now. But it's tough, bro. Because when you're on stuff like, it's like when you're in a restaurant and they say, hey, if we don't want to serve you because you don't got shoes on, we don't have to. And it's like, it's hard to argue with that, man, because it's their business. So if it's like PlayStation has their own guidelines, it's like, hey, if they say that you can't do anything and speak to someone aggressively, you got to play by their rules, bro. I'm not saying that I think everyone should be all soft like that or whatever, but that's just the world we live in, bro. If somebody makes something, if they make some kind of gaming ecosystem and they say you can't do A, B, and C, and you just can't, bro. Even if it's not fun or it makes it lame or ARJR, music and horns are low. That's crazy to me, man. Why is that? I don't know why it seems like that on certain days. Because when I listen in the playback, like I almost lowered the horn yesterday because it seemed so loud when I was listening to the playback. When I was doing clips, shoot. It makes me nervous though because I don't want to make it blast you guys. Let me look into the numbers right now. Mar Loca, thank you for doing it. Family. I got Mar Loca with me. How the heck is it low? I literally heard it yesterday and I was like, dang, it's kind of loud. Yeah, I haven't even moved it since last time. What about right here? I just hired it by 10. I just went 10 whole ones. I went from 20 to 30. How about that? She's talking to me. I got all my peoples with me. Volume's good here. Thank you, bro. Frank Lee speaks them facts. Thank you, bro. Frankly, facts. It's still, bro, really? How the heck? How the heck? Here's the thing. There's a part of me that actually wants to keep it kind of subtle because I know that there's people that are like, bro, it's annoying. And I don't. It sounds off mic, so it's not. Did I silence something? Because it's not supposed to feed through the mic. It's supposed to watch. I'll turn off my mic right now. It's going through the computer. So let me turn off the mic and then play through the computer and make sure it's still playing through the computer. I think I just fixed it. Did that sound different? I think what happened, that's weird. That was glitchy. I didn't see the level moving right now, and I was like, wait a minute, it's not going through there. I think it was only going through my mic. So it said if I wanted to restart the part where it's just doing that, kind of like reboot it, turn it off and turn it back on without having to redo the whole software. Okay, good. So let me do this then. Let me put it back. Hey, thank you for letting me know that. I always tell you guys, please always feel free to let me know if something seems a little bit off. Shoot, man. Wait a minute. Did that mean that you didn't hear what I... ARJR, can you let me know? ARJR, if when did you notice it start doing that, ARJR? Has it been low has it been gone like that the whole stream, or did it barely happen? Did you hear me using sound effects earlier? Yeah, for real. Did you hear them? Did you hear the ones I was using earlier, ARJR? ARJR, look, I'm going to break the fourth wall right now, okay? I'm going to break the fourth wall. And it's worth it because I'll get a short out of it. But ARJR, did you hear earlier when I went like this, when I was like, oh, his lady was trying to give him one last chance and she called Dan Hooker, but when he picked up the phone, all he said was,
you ever seen a grown man naked?
Did you hear when I did that? From the start. You serious? Did you even hear when I did that earlier? Great. Fantastic. Well, I guess I could just add that after the fact. I could put it in the edit. You didn't hear it? I'm angry. I was trying to get another moment so that I could edit it into my short later. It was something that I thought of way later, and then I was like, I'm gonna add that in there later. Okay, I'll put it in post. I'm begging all of you that just got here right now to go watch the beginning part of the stream after the fact, because that's when I was touching on all the Dan Hooker stuff. No pun intended.
Whose hot dog is this?
And hey, I'm getting there, Angel Padilla. I'm getting there. I know you're not here right now, but you're rubbing off on me, bro. No pun intended.
Whose hot dog is this?
You know what would be hilarious? I mean, since everything's going on the way that it is with I'm getting nervous now. I just want to test everything.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, so it looks like it's working. I wouldn't be surprised if the way that everything is going right now with Sean Strickland and the interviews and the reporters and how it's getting pretty weird. I wouldn't be surprised if they, because it was a weird coincidence, and I don't know if I did something to my algorithm or what. you know that black dude that goes, "Why are you gay?" You know that. I thought it would be the most hilarious crossover if for the next press conference that Dan Hooker's in, they do a collab with that dude and they fly him out and he just goes, "Why are you gay?" That would be like top tier. Like, oh my gosh, bro. That's the kind of stuff, like the 7.7 billion is worth it if you start doing that kind of thing. If you start doing those kind of collabs and bringing dudes in like that and cutting paychecks for dudes to make cameos, that's going to make the UFC a better place. Patty going to have a field day with this one. You know what, though? Look, for... Dang, bro. I feel like someone's trying to huff and puff and blow my dojo down. It's getting crazy over here. Oh, you know, remind me to talk about Patty in a little bit. I'll write it down so hopefully I don't forget. You know what I forgot to show you guys? I'm such an idiot, bro. I got so distracted. I gotta go back to my Dan Hooker section. I'm so mad, bro. I'm so mad. Okay, let me touch on Dan Hooker again a little bit. No pun intended.
Whose hot dog is this?
Now, look, let me address this. First of all, Jane, I think you just got here. Please, if you have time, go back and check the beginning of the stream later where I was going in depth with Dan Hooker, no pun intended.
Whose hot dog is this?
And I touched on some things, but I forgot something. I left something out. So this is a part B right here. This is what I thought was very interesting. When I was seeing the news this morning about Dan Hooker. Oh, and to address your question, Jane Caulfield, at the moment, it's only that one lady saying stuff. And to be fair, she looks and seems and acts kind of crazy. And was living, you know, a type of lifestyle that's maybe like you probably wouldn't trust her, you know, house sitting your pets and stuff like that. You know, probably not the most, you know, what I'm trying to be diplomatic about it, but you're probably not gonna put her as a reference at work, you know. But at the same time, I was like, so I was saying, you know, she showed some screenshots and some footage and some crazy conversations. She showed his Kiwi swingers profile and all that. But I was saying, you know, just to play Hooker's advocate, I was saying there's CGI, there's Photoshop. Look at Transformers. Look at Harry Potter. You know, people could make stuff up. Who knows? But there was something that I forgot to mention. When I saw that stuff about Dan Hooker this morning, I remembered, hey, wasn't Dan Hooker like talking about how like talking about Saint Denise Benoit's looks? I wouldn't let her water my plants. No pun intended.
Whose hot dog is this?
Okay, so I remembered that he was talking about that guy, and I went to look it up. And I know maybe it's not the most big dramatic thing ever, but I thought it was interesting. Because we never hear like Nate Diaz talking about how dudes look like in a sensual manner. We never hear like, you know, like Alistair Overeem or Brandon Moreno or Demetrius Johnson or, I mean, even Ronda Rousey. Like, you typically aren't hearing from fighters about, especially from Amanda Nunes. So, look, I thought it's a little thing. It's a little thing. But I just thought it was interesting. Maybe an interesting excerpt to add to the conversation.
I seen him yesterday. He's not that bad looking. I don't know what. Maybe it was like after I seen his.
I mean, look, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'm just saying when you supplement it, when you start to put the pieces together, you just start to think of everything. You know, people, we all do this in our own lives. Once one little thing happens, you start to go, and you start reverse engineering.
Down that little bit tougher.
You did say he was very ugly, but you got to meet him for the first time.
I seen him yesterday. He's not that bad looking. I don't know what. Maybe.
So, you know, normally, I just feel like normally when dudes are fighting, it's not typical. It's not typical for them to focus on their opponent's physical looks and features and if they're good looking or not. That's all. This may not be the most earth-shattering thing, but I just felt like it was interesting to add to the conversation. Now that I don't understand, let me try to play it for you one more time in case you missed it, because I'm seeing a double audio issue here. Let me just make sure. So let me go here and
It was like after I seen his face busted up.
wait a minute, something's off here. Here we go.
You say he was very ugly, but you got to meet him for the first time.
I seen him yesterday. He's not that bad looking. I don't know what. Maybe it was like.
You got to meet him for the first time.
I seen him yesterday. He's not that bad looking. I don't know what. Maybe.
So again, it's not the biggest deal ever in the world. I get it. I understand. But I think it's just an interesting thing to sprinkle into the conversation. I feel like when I listen to dudes at press conferences talk about the dude whose head they're trying to knock off, they're not talking about if they're cute or not. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you, Hoser. Thank you, bro. And one more thing. When I was watching the footage, just, oh my gosh. Jane, please don't tell me Dan Hooker's a dude that you have a crush on. Please, I'm going to lose my beanie, bro. Please don't tell me that Dan, what is it? Is it Europeans? Is it Europeans, Jane? Please don't tell me that you. See that, I don't know, Jane. I don't know if you're just a good-hearted diplomatic that just wants to like, hey, let's give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Or if it's something different with Dan Hooker. Is this like a Tomas Aspinall kind of thing? Is it a European thing? Anyway, fools need to give other fools compliments. So look, listen. You might not like this, Jane. When I was doing my homework this morning and I was looking into everything that was happening, there was something like that came to my beanie and I was like, what is this reminding me of? There was something familiar about something that I saw. No, I just don't care what he gets up to outside the ring, and I don't trust a scorned lady to give facts. See, that's what I'm saying. Jane Caulfield's just like an attorney, like a lawyer, just being very level-minded about it. So I get that. I get that. So when I was watching the footage today, I saw this. This is a screenshot that she shared. And what it says at the top doesn't really matter. I don't even remember what it said. Oh, no one would suspect me. Oh, I think she was trying to be like, oh, look, I'm not gay, like making fun of him. So just look at this photo right here. Something about this photo reminded me of something else. And I was like, why do I feel this way? Because I didn't just look at it and I was like, oh, yeah, he's a two-timer or he's kissing or how funny he's acting like he's not gay, but he's gay. I was like, why am I feeling weird about this photo? What mental connection am I making right now? And then I found it. I remembered. And then I was like, is my memory serving me correct? So I went on YouTube and Google and I found what I was remembering. And it was this moment right here. From the movie Clueless. Bro? I don't know if you've seen the movie Clueless. I don't know if you remember look, now I know everyone's on different parts of the fence right here, all right? Some people will hear he's gay and they're like, bro, ha, gay, and then there's other people that were like, everyone's all over the place. I feel like typically in the MMA majority, we know what's what. But when I made this connection here, I was like, bro, it don't matter what side of the fence you're on. This is just a hilarious, because I was about to say, I don't know if you saw Clueless and saw the way that this dude interacted with people and with the world and how he talked and walked and all that kind of stuff. Who cares? Whatever. Because then that's just going to get into a whole conversation. What's wrong with that? That's not what I'm talking about right here. I'm just saying this dude is being accused of these certain things. And it looks like he's cosplaying that gay dude that was trying to date Cher. Or maybe, I don't even think he was just trying to be besties in the movie Clueless. He's literally cosplaying that dude. He's wearing the same fit. Even look at his hands. Look at his hands by his wrists. How they let, they like to, like chicks, how they like to let the sleeves hang like that. He's doing the same, down to the dickies, bro, everything. And I just thought, again, just like the photo where he's like saying Benoit Denise, he's like, he's not that bad looking of a guy. I guess I never gave him a good once over before. He ain't that bad looking. You just sprinkle in little things like this. It's just anecdotal. That's it. It's just anecdotal. I might be crazy. It might not mean anything. I just thought it was interesting. I just thought it would be something interesting to share. And now it's your responsibility. You do with that information what you will. I'm just here to share. So now that you've seen this, let's Bertolomeo, what's up, bro? GM, who made the worst comment? Patty saying that Dan couldn't grapple a grape ist. Hey, you know, I don't even know if you did that intentionally, bro. But if not, I appreciate your subconscious for separating that, so I didn't say it too fast, so the algorithm didn't think I was saying something else. Is Al a grape ist out from his mom, or Dan laughing at Patty's past friend, Patty's papa's pimblet? That's way worse. I don't know if people disagree with me here. Okay, listen. It's easy for me to just be like, oh, yeah, Patty said that. That's terrible. He's stupid because I don't like Patty Pimblett. But it's like, bro, were you guys born the day that the zillennial decade started or what? Like, saying that Dan couldn't grapple a grape ist out from his mom or dad. Bro, that's the kind of stuff you hurl around on the daily at recess, in the locker rooms, at lunchtime, in the game chat. Like, that's how people talk. I didn't think that was a big deal. Is it a nice thing to say? No. That's why you say it. It's like in the 40-year-old virgin when he's like, hey, you know how I know you're gay? Remember that scene? Those dudes were like best friends. They were best friends. There was nothing vicious and violent and heartless and gross and antagonistic about it. They're saying, hey, you know how I know you're gay? Today, you'd get the electric chair for doing stuff like that. Back then, that's how homies talked. So when Patty said that, is it nice? Is it a good thing? Is it pleasant? No. That's why you say it. And it was hypothetical. It was hyperbolic. What Dan said wasn't. That was real. That was factual. That was historical. That's a thing that actually took place. That was way worse. I agree that they're both stupid, but again, just being a immature dude or whatever, that's why dudes say stuff like that, because it's stupid. I mean, dudes will say stuff like that to each other. I mean, and look, let's not let ladies off the hook, right? I see ladies say some crazy stuff to each other, and then they laugh about it. I mean, people just have weird relationships, man. It all makes sense now, GM. Now I know why Dan Hooker initiated the grappling sequence with BSD, even though it ultimately led to his defeat. I mean, it starts to make sense even when he starts rattling off, talking about, like, I don't even have title aspirations anymore. I just want to ruin other people's lives. It's like he just has this beast or something, that these inner demons he's struggling with. He don't even have these positive aspirations anymore, no pun intended.
Whose hot dog is this?
He's just trying to bring others down now. No pun intended.
Whose hot dog is this?
ARJR. Bro, the 40-year-old virgin is... I remember when I first saw that movie. It was insane, bro. They just don't make movies like that anymore, man. We got to, man. That would be fun. That would be so fun, dude. You know how I know you're gay? Because you have a bumper sticker on your car that says, I love you. When he goes, that's gay. Oh, Miss Chuck Almighty, you reminded me of something. I know I've shared this with you before. Miss Chuck Almighty, you especially might remember this, and don't feel bad if you don't. It's just because I know you've been here for the long haul. I remember I told you guys years ago, I used to work at Pizza Hut. I was a delivery driver, and we would just always mess with each other and prank each other. And we would take turns writing stuff. So I can't even remember how we did it. But we would take, like, was it a sheet of paper? I think we would take like sheets of paper or something. And there, you know, the magnets they put on top of the car, so it says Pizza Hut, Domino's, whatever. We would put magnets on the car and put big sheets of paper and write on the papers, so that when you're driving down the road, people could read the paper. It's like a poster on the paper. And we would do it like we would do it on the opposite side of the driver's side. So let's say the driver comes out and he gets in his car and it's parked in a way that he can't see the other side of his car. He can't see the passenger side. So we wouldn't even talk about it. We would just do it random days. Someone might not do it for like 2 weeks, and then out of nowhere they do it. So you never know when to expect it. You'd have to be looking at every angle of your car every time you go out, or you might get caught. And they'd put the magnets sometimes, and it would say, I remember one time somebody wrote, I'm not gay, but my boyfriend is. And then one of the other ones was, oh shoot, what was it? Oh, come on. I just had it right now. Shoot. Man, I should have started with the other one because I wouldn't have forgot the second one. Whatever. Oh, that's so annoying. But it would say stuff like that. Oh shoot. What was the other one? I'm not. You know, I know you're gay because bumper sticker. Shoot, I don't remember. But we had so many different variations of that, and people would just be driving around like that, and then people would be honking. But that's just how people get down, man. Men didn't change, women did. Yeah, they got all serious on us, bro. Why so serious? And it's hypocritical because, look, I know there might be a lady in here or a couple or a few that are like, I'm not like that, so stop it. But I mean, I feel like we hear ladies all the time say crazy stuff. It's like, oh, you guys talk like that? You guys act like you don't talk like that. I don't know you talk like that. So it's like, I mean, and just like what Dan and Patty were saying, there's guys too that don't talk like that. So I mean, everybody's different. Like bags of sand. I mean, yeah, I'm read up on that, Sean. I'm read up on that. I had a conversation with someone about that the other day, and I wasn't trying to be negative or anything like that, but it was in regard to the duties and the responsibilities of a man, and him needing to be on the ball and do what he's supposed to do, and not basically be a boy his whole life, and grow up and be responsible, mature, and lead his household. And it was talking about, you know, because it's even referred to, you know, sin entered the world through man. And that says it right there. Well, who's the one that heard, and who's the one that grabbed, and who's the one that offered? Yeah, but it came into the world through man. It was his responsibility. But it was, you know, it was Eve that did that. You know, it was Sarah that said, "Here's my concubine." It was Jacob's mom, who's, I can't think of it right now, Rachel, that said, "Hey, go trick your dad." It was, you know, so it's like, hey, dudes need to keep themselves in check and make sure that they're on the ball and that they're not.
Whose hot dog is this?
You'd be horrified to hear some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth. Miss Chuck Almighty, I understand what you're saying, and most people probably would. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, look, you guys know you guys know enough about me already. You know about my faith. You know how I believe in things. You know how I like to operate and conduct myself. However, Miss Chuck Almighty, I'd probably feel nostalgic. And I think you know that by now. I would never conduct myself like Sean Strickland did the other day in that interview. But I'm going to be brutally honest. And some of you may not like to hear this. When I hear people talk like that, it kind of makes me nostalgic. It makes me feel like there's some authenticity in the world again, and that everything doesn't have to be so plastic and overproduced and bubblegum and polished and PC. And if you don't talk like that, you're going to go to jail and you're going to get fined and you're going to get fired and you're going to get canceled. Something about me is like, even if I don't agree with every point, something about me is like, I could breathe. Wow, okay. Not everybody is a drone saying and doing and acting the same way. Whew. Okay. I don't know. I think even if you don't fully agree, some of you could at least understand that. And you know what the crazy thing is? There was that moment when Sean Strickland was talking and he was calling out people in the room. He was like, everybody agrees with me, right? You agree with me? Oh, you better believe all the people in there were terrified. They probably didn't even want to make eye contact. They're like, nope. I don't want to lose my job. Nope. It's gross. Everyone's walking on eggshells. And again, it doesn't mean you have to be either that or an edgelord or just intentionally say the most heinous things. It's just, man, sometimes when that happens, it's like, okay. I don't live in some weird government-controlled algorithm. Whew. No, I will say this, Jane. When he does it, it seems forced. It almost seems like, and I don't know, I may be reading too much into it. When I was watching that interview last night, I'm not going to say it sounded rehearsed, but there's something in his delivery that's almost like he's searching for his next punchline or his next joke. I don't know if you've seen it or if now that I'm saying this, you'll go back and you could see it now that I've said it. There's something in his delivery that's always like, what about, and it's like he's actively searching for what crazy things could I say. I got this thing I got to keep up. I got this character I got to maintain. So there is something about the way he does it specifically that doesn't feel authentic. When I say that, when I use the word authentic, what I'm saying is I feel like, here it is. I feel like, this might be a bad example because of what I just said with him. Like, it seems somewhat like maybe, even though it's not a script, that he already knows there's a way I gotta act. I'm a certain character and I gotta keep this up. But the way I feel when he does his thing is like, hey, there's a script. There's like a world script that we're all supposed to abide by. And he doesn't. And I like that. I like it. Because I don't like the world script. And again, that doesn't mean that I like everything he's saying. It's just, I think that we need a little bit of mayhem every once in a while so that we don't live in China. Because if you're in China, if you're in South Korea, if you're in Chechnya, you can't act like Sean Strickland. You're dead. So all I'm saying is when someone acts like that, I'm like, oh, it's kind of like when you're driving and you see someone get pulled over. It's like, oh, okay. You know what? Does anybody get what I'm saying? He's stopping himself from saying worse stuff. That's what the cadence is. It's okay. It's okay, RGR. I want to be here for like another I have to leave. I gotta walk out of here by maybe like 2:40, 2:45. Did you I didn't, real Bruce Wayne. That's what I'm talking about, hoser. I'm sick in the beanie, bro. Like, I'm not like that. You'll never see me out like that, talking like that. But people like Mayhem Miller, does he say the best things? Are they amazing? Should he get a pat on the back for that? No. But I love to see it, bro. I don't know what to tell you. You're right, dude. I didn't see that, real Bruce Wayne. Yes, real Bruce Wayne. I see that. Yup. And yup, so it was one thing after another with Sarah. Yup. And then, I'm not even going to get into this, bro. I talk about it with people on a personal level, but I've had the conversation before. What Sarah did with the concubine, with Hagar, what that did, what that created, what do with this what you will. I'm just going to make a statement. I'm going to make a factual, historical statement. And you do with that what you will. What Sarah did with Hagar, what did that spawn? Ishmael. I'm just making a historical statement. That action, that butterfly effect led to Ishmael. And then the promised son you had was Isaac. And now you got Ishmael and Isaac. If you know, you know. Oh my gosh, bro. Shut up. Oh, okay. It sound good. It sound good. I walk on eggshells with work boots on. Oh. This is how we do it. Guns up. I'll check it out, bro. What was I gonna say? I did want to say something about Patty Pimblett. Sometimes I'll remind you guys of something, and I talked about this on the Fighting for Your Life podcast. Wait a minute, did I? I didn't. That's why we got to do part 2. I kind of touched on it generally. Bro, that came out so confusing, Bert. I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know if you're saying, I'm not sure if I should be a theist, and it came out un instead of a. That's like the most, it almost seems intentionally, that was crazy how it came out. Or if you're saying atheist. Not sure if I should be an atheist or agnostic, serio. Well, Bert, I'll just say this real quick. To be an atheist means you're saying, I know 100% and there's no, and I'm closing it off forever and I'm done. And agnostic is like, I'm seeking. I want to know what the truth is. I am being a critical thinker. I am trying to find out, because there's people where they'll be asked, because they're saying, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, God's stupid, blah, blah, blah. Well, you don't believe in him, but he's also stupid? Huh. But there's people like that, and then the person will ask him, hey, just bear with me. If by whatever metric you use, you found out, you discovered, you came to the realization that God is real, whatever thing, I didn't, no pun intended. If by whatever metric you use, you conceded, oh shoot, I guess God is real, they'll ask them, would you then believe in him? Would you then serve him if it was presented to you, oh snap, he is real? And the people go, no. What are we doing then? Why are you going through so much of this and that, trying to prove that and fight against it and push and say it's not real? Spaghetti monster, your invisible friend, blah, 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 blah. But then you find out it's real. Science proved it, whatever proved it. And then you're like, I'm still not going to believe in him. Oh, so it wasn't that you were seeking truth. You weren't pursuing objectivity and critical thinking. You were pushing back because you don't want to be accountable to a creator. You were pushing back because you want to live a life without accountability. You were pushing back because you want to be able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, how you want, Dan Hooker.
Whose hot dog is this?
It's wild when it comes down to it with some of these people. When you really peel all the layers back, it's all about accountability, because they will still say, not all of them, there's plenty of people who were atheists, agnostics, even atheists, who will say, I was a critical thinker, I was sincerely seeking truth and objectivity, and that's how I came to this conclusion, that I felt that there is indeed enough evidence of this and that and et cetera, this other, to now believe in God. They were atheists, but they weren't stubborn atheists. They weren't I'm set in my ways atheists. They weren't Ricky Gervais, I'm an atheist because I watched The Exorcist. Those aren't critical thinkers. They were atheists, and they said, I care about truth. And they sought it out, and they found it. That is respectable. From wait, in the beginning, have you seen that video, MK? In the beginning, I got too close on that one. And here's the thing, Nathan. You know what? I love science. I've never seen 1 ounce of science, not actual science. I mean, a lot of people use the scientific method for political reasons. I've never seen actual science, demonstrable science, do anything to disprove God. All that science is going to do is, all that true, objective, actual, demonstrable science is going to do is affirm its creator. That's all that creation can do. But it's the weird, twisted way of the world that they make people think it's science or it's God. You have to choose. That's part of the delusion right there. You don't. You do not. One affirms the other. One creates the other. One affirms the other. I only trust the sweet science. You cannot prove a negative. I don't know, bro. I'm not good at math. I don't know what that means.
Whose hot dog is this?
I wanted to say something about Patty Pimblett. When I first started doing this channel, I would make fun of different... shoot, man. I don't like talking about stuff like this. I'll get through it real quick. I would make fun of martial arts. And the reason I felt okay with doing that is because I love martial arts. And when I would make fun of these different martial arts, I would specifically study them so that I would be able to do certain techniques and look like I knew what I was doing in the videos. And I wanted to show love and respect to the arts and the people who love martial arts so that they would watch and be like, oh, this dude is a martial artist. He loves martial arts just like me, but he's making fun of it. Oh, it's okay. He's making fun of something he loves. He's one of us. That's what I wanted to do. And I felt okay about that. I was making fun of something that I liked. You know, you got to be able to poke fun at things, be self-defecating and stuff like that. Bertolomeo. Dan stayed truthful to his last name. Respect. Yeah, it's starting to look kind of funny the way that it's kind of looking is starting to come off as like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, with the Italians. Was it on the Italian card or like a Spanish card where they call him Dan Prostitute? That's hilarious now. What's the quote? Absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. I've never heard that before, actually. Evidence. Dang, I like that a lot. I'm gonna screenshot that. I like that a lot. Quantum mechanic professors at universities say by the end of this course you will understand nothing. You know what, bro? I love that, and you know why I love that? Because even if they're atheists, what they don't even realize what they're saying is, and I quote, "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth?" Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Who tells it when to snow? The waves to go to and fro. So look, I started off making fun of the martial arts, and then when I needed the channel to get some traction, I had to start talking about UFC and UFC fighters more because of the big names, Conor McGregor, Adesanya. No one was ever gonna type in, you know, Mexican Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Mexican Taekwondo and stuff like that. So it's like, I got to get on the radar. And what it turned into was, instead of just making fun of different martial arts styles, I started making fun of fighters. And who are fighters? They're people. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not always that fun. It's not always that fun because they're people. They're human beings. The thrill and the agony, you know, they cry. They get hurt. They go to the hospital. And I don't like to feel like a bad guy. And I know I make a lot of fun of Paddy Pimblett, and I traditionally, historically, don't like him. I feel like he can be very abrasive and obnoxious. But I think I feel like the way that he blows up and stuff after the fights, and the way he's always talking about all his friends that are passing away, and all of his mental health, and like, the dude is clearly struggling. And look, some of you will know this. I mean, it's obvious. I talk about it ad nauseum. I've never done any kind of drugs. I've never smoked anything. I've never drank. My vice, and it's bad. Sometimes I make light of it, but it's bad. It's very sinful, and I need to stop it. It's bad. My vice is gluttony. And I know. And I know it seems silly, and it's something like, are you kidding, bro? What, you eat too much pizza? That's why people get away with it and fall into that trap and eat themselves to death and to heart disease and to stuff like that. Because people make it a joke. People make light of it. They don't take it serious. Oh, you're going to compare eating too much food to heroin, to cocaine, to vodka? Oh, shut up, bro. Okay, and then you have a heart attack, you get diabetes, you get limbs cut off, you get high blood pressure. Like, you'll kill yourself. I like to eat. And I joke about it from time to time. I was telling Marilena the other day, I told her, I can't even remember the last time I ate because I was hungry. I eat to make myself feel better. I eat as a hobby. I eat because I'm sad. I eat because I'm frustrated. I eat because I'm tired. And she made some kind of comment like, well, man, you probably never even give yourself enough time to get hungry. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. But I feel like, man, when you see, like, I don't know if you've seen the footage of him lately. The dude, I mean, he makes a spectacle out of himself the way that he eats. And it's not healthy. It's bad. It's very bad. And he's always talking about all his dudes taking their lives and stuff. It's like, you know, part of that has got to be like, there's no way that he talks about it at that length and goes through it and feels that pain and doesn't. I'm not saying, hey, he's suicidal. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's got to be so at the forefront of his mind. All that while he's all depressed and he just like hit rock bottom as far as his dreams are concerned and probably coming to the realization that it wasn't just that one fight, that he just doesn't seem to be at that caliber. So yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah. I mean, dudes got to look out for each other. They gotta contact each other. They gotta talk about stuff. Hopefully, Dan Hooker will send him a DM.
Whose hot dog is this?
Save his life. Captain Saver, Liverpudlian. You know what? I had some news that I thought I was going to talk about, but I'm going to save it because I'm going to clip something right now before I got to go. And I definitely am not going to leave myself enough time if I don't do it right now. And then I'm going to be very sad. And then I'm going to be anticipating a DM from Dan Hooker. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to edit a little short together right now. And then I'm going to edit a little short together, and I hope you guys keep an eye out for it. And probably I'm going to try to do a couple. Maybe I'll do one like right now and then another one in a few hours from now. And then stream again tomorrow. If you missed the beginning of the stream, I hope you go back and check it out. That's when we were talking about all the Dan Hooker stuff. I'm going to do my best to timestamp it. I told the platform, I told YouTube in the back end on the YouTube studio to go ahead because it has the thing asking you. I said, go ahead and do the automatic timestamp so people could, and they haven't been doing it. Maybe, I think I rambled too much. So they're like, well, how are we going to put timestamps on this? So I'm going to go work on something right now. And then hopefully I see you guys in the shorts. ARJR, thank you for the blessing for the road, bro. Thank you, Taser Halo. I got all my homies Taser Halo. With me. You guys be safe out there. Make good decisions. And I'll see you again very soon.